Okay, so for this IELTS speaking test tip of the week, we'll be talking about the IELTS speaking test part 2, which is the long term, wherein you are given a topic and then you'll be given 1 minute to prepare for the topic, and then you'll be given about 2 minutes to talk about the topic, and you are not allowed to stop until the examiner asks you to stop. Okay, so I'll give you a topic that you need to prepare for 1 minute, and if you need to write notes, you can do so on the paper provided. And then I'll give you some time to talk about the topic, and you don't have to be afraid if I stop you while you're talking. Okay, so here's your topic card, and yeah, you may begin. Okay, so let's say you've been given a candidate task card. For example, this one, which says describe someone in your family you really admire. You should say what relation this person is to you, what are your first memories of this person, how often you see this person, and explain why you admire this person. Now, what do you do next? You'll be given 1 minute to prepare for the talk, so you'll be given a piece of paper to write down some ideas. Now, you could make a list of ideas and keywords or draw a mind map. Okay? After 1 minute, the examiner will ask you to start talking. And this is where the test really begins. You'll also see a recorder near the examiner. So, unfortunately, he or she cannot interrupt your talk whatsoever until such a time that you're asked to stop talking.
Hello. I'm going to talk about someone in my family who is my sister. Her name is Christel, and she is my sister. She knows me for a long time, and I love her so much because she is kind and sweet, and she really loves me a lot. She is not here anymore because she went to Singapore, so I don't often see her anymore. And I like her because she is nice and kind to me and loves me very much. That's all.
Well, that unfortunately was not good, because the candidate that you saw earlier was unable to fulfill the 2 minutes that he was given to have a talk, and instead fumbled his way through. Now, I'll give you tips on how your talk can be a lot better than that. First, you can try to memorize a good opener. Let's see how that goes.
Okay, I'll be honest with you. It's kind of hard for me to talk about this topic because I could talk about my mom or my dad, who I love very much. But for this instance, I want to describe my sister. I mean, I love my sister so much. Her name is Crystal, and she has been one of the most loving sisters I could ever have. Not just because, we're related and all, but the fact that all the moments that I've shared growing up, she was always there.
Here's another good tip. When referring to the topic, don't use the words from the topic card. Instead, you can use your own words, which we call paraphrasing. Let's see an example of that.
Well, today I'm going to describe someone I really do love in my family, which is none other than my mom. Her name is Josie. She's, not your typical mom, to be honest. And you're going to be surprised with all the things that I'm going to be telling you about her.
Okay, so I understand it's difficult sometimes to think of something to talk about, even if you do have some notes. But here's something that you should remember. Being honest is not one of the assessment criteria. So that means the examiner will not care who you're trying to describe. Okay? He or she will only care about the language you use in your talk, your pronunciation, and your fluency and coherence. So, you can obviously lie, invent a story about someone, and just go with it. Okay? Although it is still better to think of someone or something from your own experience because it's usually easier to talk to. But in situations where it is really hard to think of someone, go for it, invent it, make it up.
Oh, I'm not really sure what my sister Apple is doing right now. But you know what? I could tell you about her growing up. She is an amazing woman when it comes to playing sports, particularly in soccer. Wow. That woman can kick a field goal 20 times in a row. She is fantastic. I think my nephews have got that skill from her. They are also soccer players now, and I'll tell you as well that my brother-in-law fell in love with her just because she was so good at sports. I'm not lying. And he was a drummer at a famous band. And it's crazy how a band player and a soccer player just, meshed together and created a beautiful family. That's why I love my sister so much. I admire her so much for that.
Oh, and one more thing. Try to keep talking. And talking, and talking, and talking. Do not worry about the time. You're not allowed a wristwatch anyway, and you will not see a clock anywhere in the testing room. The examiner will stop you after 2 minutes. Okay, so I've been gushing about my sister a lot. I could tell you about my other sister who lives in Oman, but all in all, I think I grew up with such a loving family, and I couldn't ask for anything more than that. I believe that everyone deserves a kind
now
of
you
family.
can stop talking. Thank you very much.
Okay.